All right, if you heard the name Deborah Oluwaseyi Joshua, I wonder if you would know who that was. But yes, my next guest, that's exactly her name. She's a singer, she's a vocalist, she's an sort of an icon in the industry. She's done very well for herself musically, and you know her as Shay. And she's my next guest on the show. Shay, how are you doing?
I'm great, Ebuka. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good to see you, even though you're not here. I mean, I wish you were here for us to have a conversation. You're looking very nice today, getting ready for your live show, I believe.
I am. I'm about to go live in an hour or so.
How's that been? Because, I mean, Nigerian Idol took a bit of a hiatus for a while, came back with you now as one of the judges. First of all, what made you want to be a part of this show? And how has the experience been? Was it what you thought it would be?
To be honest, I actually got the call. I had no intentions of being a judge on the show. I had no intentions of being on any TV show. Actually, I got the call, and obviously it was something I couldn't turn down. It has been incredible so far. We've been filming since February, and we are filming all the way till July. And I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of crucifixion. People have been getting me. Yeah, you know me.
Yes,
I'm a tough cookie.
we've been seeing some of that. Well, you say you got the call and you never had intention. So what made you change your mind to say, okay, maybe I should do this? What was it about the phone call or whatever it was that made you decide to do it?
I didn't change my mind. I was not expecting the call. So, somebody just called, one of the producers, and was like, hey, we want you to be one of the judges on Idol. At the time, I didn't know who my co-judges were going to be. In fact, I didn't know who my co-judges were going to be until the orientation of the actual first filming. And but when I saw Sose and Obi there, I was relieved. I was happy. I mean, they're my friends in the industry, and away from the industry too, we're friends. And so I just didn't prepare for it. I did not prepare for it at all. In fact, it was such a shock to me. But you can imagine how excited I was. I was like, oh my God, this is like the biggest gig ever. So, and truly it has been. It is the biggest gig, and it has been incredible.
Yeah. You talked earlier about, the crucifixions. I want to talk a bit about that because literally the very first episode of the show, you were the conversation on everyone's lips. Did you see that coming? Did you see people's points, with regards to, how they interpreted, probably your role on the show at the time and probably still going on even?
So I didn't think that we as Nigerians were still not ready for the truth like that. So me, I'm quite blunt. I keep it real all of the time. I don't beat around the bush. I mean, the first episode was such a shocker, but at the end of the day, it's TV, right? And it will always be made to look more elaborate than it was. And most of the contestants that came to audition for Idol were really good, but there were a few here and there that were just really bad. And I was there to judge. I am here to judge. I mean, now we've gone into the live episodes, so it's now in Nigeria's hands to call in and vote and text. So you guys decide now who gets to win the show and who gets through to the next round. But earlier on in the recording of the show, the onus was on the three of us to kick people out or keep people in, right? And the people that were really bad. Like, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to say, oh, you're great. And there were some people that were awful, and were telling us that maybe their friends or their families encouraged them to come and do this. And I was just wondering why. It's real. It's reality. This show is reality. It's not scripted. It's not made up. And so my reactions are real. And they're very honest. I just didn't realize that Nigerians were not as we are not as ready to take the truth as I thought, I guess. Yeah. But it just is what it is. I'm there to do a job. I'm getting paid to do a job. I'm a judge. I'm not a counselor or a psychiatrist. I'm there to tell the truth. And so even now in this interview, You know me. Like I'm always just keeping it real, right? Like we
Very
gotta
true.
just keep it real, especially in this country,
Yeah.
right? I feel like too many people are just hooked on, smoke screens and mirrors and lies. And I mean social media obviously plays a big part in that. But I think that maybe if we told more of the truth to each other, we probably would make better decisions for our country and our economy, and we probably wouldn't vote for the kind of people we vote for to lead us as well, right? So I'm not going to get too political, but the point is I'm a judge, and
Yeah.
I think I'm doing a
Well,
great job.
so I guess the point is most people would say saying the truth is one thing, and sort of being harsh is something else. Because I remember a particular one where you had told a contestant you will never make it in the industry or something along those lines, and a lot of the uproar
No, what
was why not?
Ebuka, do you know what I really said, or you just
I'll get to your
paraphrasing?
response. Yeah, I'm just trying to paraphrase, but I guess my point is people were okay with you saying no or saying you can't sing, but I guess it was the way you presented your comments and the kinds of things you said that got people you sort of up in arms. Do you agree with that?
No, did you watch that episode
Yes, but I can't remember
yourself?
the exact words. Yeah, but I did watch it. Yes.
You watched the episode. So if you watched the episode, and for those of you that watched that episode, you would have seen and heard, if you wanted to, and if you were really paying attention, that the young man came out and he said something along the lines of, we said, why are you here? Why do you want to be so? I said, I want to make money. Somebody that's passionate about music and the arts, and that wouldn't really sit right? First of all, because we don't do it for the money per se. We do it for the love. We do it because it's our dream. We do it because it's our passion. All right. So money is not really the first thing that comes to a real arts muso or artist's mind when and so when he said that, I was like, okay, great, you sing. So he sang, and it was off, and Obi and so say were like, yeah, no. And he was like, please, can I have one more chance? And I was like, okay, okay, great, go ahead. And Sose was like, no, hell no. And Obi was just like, no. But nobody talked about the fact that I'm the only one that gave him a second chance, right? So anyway, he got a second chance, and then he sang, and it was still just not cutting it. Because we had heard so many other artists before him that were beasts, in the good sense, right? Really good singers, and it just wouldn't have been fair to put him through. So, as a response to what him saying he wants to make money in this, I was like, look, you're never going to make money in this industry. However, you are a fantastic songwriter, because he sang an original song. And I did say, hey, you're a great songwriter. So hit me up after the show. Let's talk about the songwriting. You'll make money songwriting. But nobody's talking about the fact that I said all of that. Everybody's talking about the fact that I said you'll never make money in this industry. Meanwhile, that whole thing was filmed, so and it was aired on the reruns of Idols.
Yeah.
So, but I think, like I said, whoever kind of wants to take what they want to take from is always going to take what they want, and we tend not to read the in between the lines, or even read the facts, or
Yeah.
even research, or even think or listen. We just kind of jump on the bandwagon and on the train
All right.
of whatever is trending. So that's what happened, and it's cool though. Like
I
it's
mean, I
fun.
know, like you said, you're a tough cookie and you can take it. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come
Yeah.
back, we'll talk more about you and maybe outside of the reality show. So don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've been having a chat with singer, reality show judge Shay, who's still with us. Shay, I want to talk about music now. I mean, a lot of you artists were probably one of the few who were hit the most during the pandemic with work. Concerts were off. It was just a time to just sort of stay away from quote unquote making money, for want of a better term. How has that been coming through 2020 into 2021, and then being on a show like this? Has that helped you sort of reset, or is this sort of distracting you even from being more creative with your time with regards to music? How has all of that played out for you?
Well, I mean, look, the pandemic was a disaster for everybody, the whole world. Yes, musicians probably got hit. We were probably one of the worst to get hit by the pandemic. No shows, no concerts, no socializing, no nothing. A lot of people couldn't even go to studios, where several people were. Thank God I have a set up in my house. I even lost a huge deal at the beginning of last year when the pandemic, the lockdown was announced, and it really knocked me down, like really badly, because I was thinking to myself, how long is this going to go on for? How are we going to make money? You know, all these things that normal people start thinking about when you realize you can't go out, you can't work, you can't do anything. So, but what I decided to do, I don't know, something inside me was just like, you know what, this is really a time for you to now just like kind of go back to the drawing board, rediscover yourself, spend time praying, spend time like in meditation, spend time reading, and like kind of probably just expand and broaden your, you know, your capabilities. And so I started doing that. And one thing I'm grateful that I really that one thing I'm grateful for that happened, and as funny as it may sound, is that, you know, even though I lost this deal at the beginning of last year, I was able to go back into the recording studio and completely rewrite my whole album. All right, and then by the end of the year, I had 2 albums, and one of which I'm ready to release in summer this year, called Big Girl. And so by the end of the year, of course, I was like just like under it, and I was like, am I going to continue doing music at this point? Like, what's really going to happen? Thank God I had saved money and I have some investments and things. You know, I was able to, you know, push through. But when I got the call to do Idols, I was like, this is God. This is a result of my praying and my fasting and my meditating and my being disciplined. And thank you, Corona, right? And I know it sounds really bad, but I was like, thank you, Corona, because honestly, I don't know what would have happened if I didn't apply myself and just kind of focus on, you know, just like have a better 2021. And the better 2021 is here for me anyway. I have an album dropping. I have the Idols, which is a huge responsibility. And I also have a huge single right now called Pempe featuring Yemi Alade, which is what I thought we were going to be talking about, but it's out now on all platforms, and it's 2 females, you know, in their prime, in the top of their industry, coming together, joining forces, and putting out a message that basically talks about, you know, the setbacks that pipirimpis, as it were, or, you know, hot women, pretty women, fine women normally face in the music industry, in any industry, but we're talking about particularly the music industry.
How did that collaboration come about? And you know, you mentioned album there. I got very excited. I mean, also you said summer. Yes. Is there a specific month? What's the album going to be called? When should we start looking forward to hearing it?
So this summer, July, I am dropping a project, an album called Big Girl. Pempe is not actually a song from the album. It is a song that was recorded last year during the whole pandemic situation. I felt like Yemi Alade was the perfect person to feature on this record because of the context of the song. You know, I'm talking about social media trolls. I'm talking about, like I said to you, the division of women in industries. I'm talking about, just a number of things that affect women. And I'm just kind of voicing it and speaking out. And I felt like Yemi Alade could relate. And when I asked her to do the song with me, she said yes. And obviously, if you listen to her verse on the song, she just killed it. She hit the nail on the head, man. So we shot the video with Clarence Peters, and we channeled Missy Elliott and Janet Jackson, Son of a Gun video. And I think the message is very clear when you watch it.
That's really brilliant. I mean, 2 females in the top. Do you think that happens enough in the industry, or do you think it should happen more?
That's why we did it. It doesn't happen enough. That's why we did, and it should happen more, and it will happen more. I think as a result of this collaboration and other things that are in the pipeline.
Be more intentional with it.
Definitely be. I mean, the guys do it all the time. They come together. They're top of their game. And they come together and they kill it. They make so much money together, and they sell, and they become more popular, and they gain more fans. And, I feel like the chicks need to kind of take a leaf out of that book, which is what we are doing now.
Yeah. So we've talked about we've talked about Shay, the reality show judge, the singer. There's also the actor. What's happening to that?
Well, did you enjoy Lara and the Beat?
Yes,
Did
of
you ever
course.
watch it?
Yes, I did. Yes.
You watched it. Okay, so we had what? Yeah. So we
Yeah,
had
that's all right.
was a version was a version of Lara and the Beat that ran for like 3 or 4 months in the cinema in
Yes, yes.
2018. It was all over the country, right? And then it went on South Africa Airways and a few other and British Airways and Virgin and all these airlines, right? So it was one version, and then it started to win awards. Movie festivals, just all over the globe. And then last year, it got picked up by Netflix. By the time I watched it on Netflix, it was a completely different version of the movie. Well, not completely different, but it was like a better version of the movie. So for those of you that that know Lara and the Beat, you've watched it maybe in the cinema, I would implore you to go and watch it on Netflix because it's such a better version. It's more racy, and it's been edited for Netflix, but it just captures the story more. So I'm still acting. I just finished playing a role of Zara now in a new web series directed by Tola Odunsi and Osas, and that's coming out this summer too. And it's a very interesting. It's called Assistant Madames 2. And then I have some other roles as well in the pipeline of movies coming out at the end of the year, but I can't talk. I'm not at liberty to talk about those. So it's like 2021 is just a blessing for me, and 2020 set me up nicely for that.
Yeah. That's good to hear. I
Yeah.
mean, triple threat indeed, man. You're killing it on all fronts. And congratulations on everything. Looking forward to the album, looking forward to the series,
Thank you.
and looking forward to the show tonight and the rest of the season.
Tonight, get off that seat. Go and watch.
Who's winning? Who's winning? Who do you think is winning?
In my opinion, I think Faith or Kingdom is
Why do you
going to
think
win.
so?
Faith or Kingdom is going to Kingdom is very relatable, and he has an incredible an incredible dynamic. He's so versatile. You can give him pop, Afrobeat, rock. I mean, he just murders it. And then Faith is like your classic pop singer, right?
Yeah.
Sweet voice. He plays the guitar. He's incredible. Beyonce's having a hard time. A lot of people are giving her some hard time, but she's just 16, guys.
Yeah.
She's just 16. Okay, and she has a long way to go. So whether she wins or not, she still has a future. And then my darling Comfort, you guys, but you guys have to vote. You guys have to vote if you want to see somebody. You can't just say, Kingdom should win, Faith is
without
not
voting.
You have to vote. The
All
TV
right.
doesn't have or ears.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much. We'll see if the viewers agree with you with their votes when the finale comes around. Thank you very much for joining us and have a great evening.
Thank
and
you.
a great year ahead.
Lovely.
Yes.